Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Mark LeMay and welcome to this week's edition of the Wellness Connection. Today we're going to be talking about the do's and don'ts of boosting and strengthening your immune system. So to start out with here, I want to just kind of tell you a couple stories here because every year you hear about new viruses going on, and we got to do this and we got to do that. And it's just crazy because, again, one thing I learned when I was in microbiology class back in college, and what they had us do, and I didn't understand at the time what they were talking about, but they said, okay, take your blood agar that, we do all of our different tests for different bacterial strains, and we just want to take them and wave them in the air. And there was like 40 of us students, and we're waving our thing. I'm like, what the heck is this all about? Put it back on, and we're going to stick them in the incubators for 48 hours and open them back up and see what happens. And every single one of them had bacteria growing in them. And we're like, wow, we didn't do any kind of cultures or anything with that. And we just waved them in the air. We got bacteria growing in there. And the instructor said, yes, what we wanted you to find out is that bacteria is ubiquitous, which means it's everywhere. Okay, so you can't get away from it. So another one was when I was in my pathology class and the instructor were talking about influenza. And we're like, how do you get influenza? And he said, this is an easy way to remember it. Influenza, you open up the window and influenza. So it's airborne. Viruses are everywhere too. So again, you can't get away from those things. So today what I want to do is show you things that are going to cause your immune system to get weaker or small, or things that are going to make it big and strong. So that's what we're going to be covering here in just a moment. So here are the things you don't want to do. So number one is sugar, because sugar is guaranteed to make your immune system go down for at least 4 to 6 hours. And again, for most of you out there, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I don't eat white sugar, like table sugar. Well, there's a lot of hidden sugars out there. So if you're eating foods that break down into sugar, again, these could be things like pasta, they could be a banana or a sweet potato. Those all break down into glucose, which is sugar. So you want to be careful with your consumption of different high quantity sugar foods. Okay, and we're going to give you some handouts later on here that you can see where they are. And then the second one here is pasteurized dairy products. Okay, so like milk and cheese. Now, butter is a different category right here because it doesn't have lactose in it, so it's not pasteurized. So, like my favorite is Kerrygold, butter because it's grass-fed. That's perfectly fine. The third one that you really want to stay away from is all of your processed boxed foods. Now, I know some of you are saying like, well, I eat like quinoa, flour, crackers and stuff like that. Well, it's a grain. Guess what it does? It breaks down into glucose, which is a sugar. So I tell my patients, again, if you're trying to really build your immune system up, make it as strong as possible, you want to try to avoid all those different types of processed foods. Now let's cover the do's for building your immune system. And of course, the first one up here is one that you probably already know: increasing your sleep. Again, when you sleep, that helps to build your immune system. For me, I'm 58 years old, so guess what? I need to get between 7 to 9 hours of sleep to really help build my immune system up. And again, there's going to be a really great handout that we're going to put in the description box down below here that gives you like different tips. Like number one that I can give you is like 30 minutes to an hour before you go to sleep. Make sure that you're dimming your different screens and everything like that, and same with the lights in your house like that, because it tells your brain time to go to sleep. The next thing here is diet. Okay, you need good proteins, good fats, good carbohydrates, and that would be more vegetables and, of course, some fruits in your diet. And we're also going to be putting a couple of handouts in the description box down here that you can take a look at, what are good proteins, good fats, and also good carbohydrates for your diet, because those kind of things are going to build your immune system. And just to kind of give you an example here, some of the things that you can eat are like garlic, beets, and also mushrooms. Those are excellent for building your immune system. The next thing here is stress management. I'm sure none of you out there are under any stress, right? No physical stress, no mental stress, no emotional stress. Yeah, we're all under those different kinds of things, and we got a really great idea for you as far as like helping with your stress management. And this one right here is every day, make sure you're spending at least 15 minutes in some kind of downtime for you. And that could be just, listening to some music. It could be just like, like one of my favorites and my wife's favorite too is we like to go out in the sun for like 15 minutes and just soak up the sun. That just helps us to de-stress. The next one here is talking about is exercise. Now, For everybody, I tell you, pick something that you like to do. Okay, and again, if you can do that 3 times a week for at least 30 minutes, that is going to help build your immune system. If you do it more than that, that's fine, but just make sure it's like moderate exercise. You don't want to exercise to exhaustion, because that is going to run your immune system down if you do that. So exercise is also important for building your immune system. So imagine that your immune system is like a weightlifter and you want to build up your strength. So what you do is you start out with smaller weights and you start building up to heavier weights over time. So the next thing I'm going to show you is some hacks that do exactly that. It's going to help to boost and strengthen your immune system all at the same time. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite ones that help to get rid of, or I should say build your immune system. First one here is a product by Medi Herb called Andrographis Complex. It's a great one for viruses and bacteria. Then here's another one that's really good too. It's called Artemisinin Complex. This one right here does a lot of different things besides just getting rid of viruses and bacteria. And then one of my absolute favorites is Echinacea Premium. This one is something that you can take year-round. It's excellent for building your immune system. And then here's one that's kind of a natural thing you can do. Now you can either do this like by eating like a half or a whole clove of raw garlic every single day, or you can take it in Medi Herb's version of Garlic Forte. And then the other one here is St. John's wort. Now I know some of you probably have heard it's like, well, that's kind of like for depression. It's like, well, it is for mild to moderate depression, but its main function is building the immune system. And this works great on envelope viruses. Another one here, which of course you can tell what this one is for, Viranon, which is again for viruses. It has different herbs in there that are specifically for fighting viruses and build your immune system. Now there's a couple other great products here that are by standard process. And one of my favorites, which helps with bone and your immune system at the same time, is calcium lactate. This is an excellent product for building the immune system. And then also Conjuplex, which is a combination product that has a couple of different things in there that do the same thing. It's for viruses, bacteria, and it's designed to build your immune system. So these are 8 different products that, again, they're specific for different types of conditions. So I really would encourage you to find a practitioner who is familiar with these type of products so you get the right thing for you. I'm not telling you to take all of these. That's not it, okay? You need to know which one or ones are the best for you. So see a practitioner who can help you with that. Or of course, you can always contact our office and set up an appointment with me too. So we'll have all that information for you in the description down below here. And again, I'm Dr. Mark LeMay. Thanks for watching. And oh, by the way, if you please give us a like for this video if you found it helpful. Also share this information with somebody who could use this information or could benefit from it. And then also, if you haven't done this already, subscribe to our channel, and we'll see you next time on the Wellness Connection.